Today is still May 26, 2023. Still going on. Today up in Akron, some guy showed up, looked like an agent. Okay. Some guy walked up to him and said, "You need to put a stop to this." And then they said that one agent's name. Said, "Well, he didn't believe her before. We all feel really bad. He didn't come help me." So how much you want to bet he was fraud too? See, that drug cartel isn't funny. See, but I did call the hotline. An agent did call me back. Someone did tell me of that church. Before I called him back, tried to tell him he was rude to me. Called me a lie. Dave said he told Danny he talked to him on April 15, 16, 23. The officer verified. November 6, 2022. Or November 6, 2022 at Trinity Gospel. That an officer witnessed that agent telling on me before I called him back. That they had found the protective custody case he opened. See, then I told him about, I told you about the thing on Huntington Bank. He called me a liar and then threatened me if I didn't say it. He put me in jail, da 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 da. He didn't care I told about the water shame guy. Had people looking for him. That was the Detroit Boys' kidnapper tried to kidnap me in front of Terry. Yeah. So because he was too lazy and too arrogant to look into everything, like they said out on Turquoise Street in Canton, we talked about the case with our teacher. I was a school discussion. All those bad things happened to her because that agent didn't help her. He listed me informant, $5,000 a month, diplomatic immunity, even when you tell, pull me out if it gets too bad, and then threaten me if I told. Okay. Next day, an older white officer with white hair showed up. He had just got done talking to Dave about the threats of my life. I thought, what about the guy at the church? That was an agent. Now I got a officer doing it. Like I said, the Canton PD, Lamar Sharp, Michael Broswell, Michael at CSE Bank, and the people in CSE Bank seen him in the back. People say Karen's got her own security here, and Canton Police called them officers. North Canton Jackson Police seen him in June of 19. Walmart Security seen him. My brother seen him in Medina in 19. One of my neighbors seen one of them when we went out to eat. They're the ones that have been doing the investigation and are running around telling people that all the tapes before they already knew they were all photoshopped and all them and not me. Okay? And telling everybody to stay out of this. That's where Dave said you got men around you. They want you. They didn't want me. They were undercover police and security guards. They were a little busy chasing off the stalkers he had hired. All right. Now, you do realize that girl in March of 2018, everybody was talking, people have been talking about her. One of the girls that her families were helping out in this, he was dating her a long time before this. March 18th, does he think it's funny bringing her here? Little 18, 19-year-old kid, old parents. You do realize, where do you find a human trafficker? Especially in 2018, Trump was president. Had the borders locked down. Well, I figured it was this one place they all frequent. That, or he got her out of a strip club. My brother Pete had told me that my brother-in-law and Dave in 2000 were sneaking off during work and taking time off instead of being at work and going to strip clubs. I confronted Dave. He called him a liar, and he's like, "Karen, I'm a Christian. I'd never do that." Yes, he would. Should have believed my brother. So yeah, should have believed my brother. So, because why would an 18, 19-year-old little blonde thing? And she sure wasn't apostolic, and neither are her trampy friends. Why would they be involved? I told you March 18. After they showed up, the human traffickers. Where would you find them? Strip clubs. Drug traders, human traffickers. Yeah. That's when the Detroit Boys' kidnapper tried to kidnap me right afterwards. I told you this retired Judge Pete Michelle They picked them up in Ravenna, where on Memorial Day weekend 2019, she's down at the food counter in Walmart 62. She's screaming it out, standing by an African American man. For it's my daughter her husband dates. He met her in Ravenna. Rah, 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 and it's for my daughter they did all this for. And our family watching her doing this, screaming it for Walmart here. Memorial Day weekend 2019. Yeah. Old Bags out there bragging how the drug cartel did it all for her daughter. Even my daughter-in-law Dixie, she's like, we had talked about Michelle. She knew about her. And when I mentioned retired Judge P, she went, oh, I said, oh, I know about him. She said it was ridiculous what they did to you for him to go out with someone else. No, yeah, it is. Because I'll tell you what, there's a guy up in Ravenna in federal prison right now. There's cells of these people. He knew one of his victims. He had 7. Got on their Facebooks, their Instagrams, photoshopped the pictures, put them in videos, and then tried to extort money. It's cyber stalking. Guess what he got? And it's sextortion doing that. 12 years, federal prison. So that guy never broke in and drugged him. Never beat him, never raped him. He just sex trafficked videos off of their Facebook and Instagram, photoshopped them, and then put them in videos. And then tried to extort money. Got 12 years. These people actually went and broke in my home and set up button cameras, stalking me, photoshopped the shower scene in the other room. Oh, I've heard about another part that they're supposed to Photoshop. And it's disgusting. Somebody said they have you looking like you're weird walking around the house. Ew. It's like it just gets more and more disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But they're strippers, they're human traffickers and drug traders. They think it's funny photoshopping things. And stalking tapes, they're non-admissible. They can never even look or listen. And then they date, rape, drug me. I wake up with bruises. There were so many times I'd go out and I'd work out in the yard. And I'd come in and I'd wash my hands, make something to eat or drink, go and use the bathroom, wash my hands better, take a drink. And I was like, whoa, did I work too hard? And I'd lay down, I'd wake up with these bruises. And I'm like, did I bang myself when I was outside? Wow, I must have worked too hard. It happened a lot. They were spiking my 2-liter Diet Coke or my coffee creamer. That's how sick all this is. In my own home. And even during the case, I'd wake up with injection marks. They'd show up in Walmart 62. And they brag they had sodium pentothal. True serum. Sodium pentothal is a lethal outlaw drug. You say yes to anything. They were date rape drugging me. They date rape drugged Eric November 1822, Walmart 62, by 2 to 6 p.m. by the hair salon, where they had left his name in Altman Hospital, a bunch of places, even in Louisville, that him and some guy named Steve were doing it. And he came in and confessed all the tapes before were me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it, my idea to say it, my idea to do it. For all these people turn on her and they fell for it. Well, if it's only you, I can take care of it. I know so bad they still fell for it. Full confession. Had him nailed in a store confessing. Okay? See, but these people did it in my home. Their big mistake. There's a 4th Amendment and a Constitution over the home. It's a right to privacy over the home. They broke in my house and drugged me, beat me, and I had a personal infection. And I was seen at Altman Family Physician for migraine, almost passing out, throwing up, dizzy, didn't know what was wrong with me. Bruises I couldn't explain, and a personal infection wouldn't go away. Here, you put drugged, beat, and raped. Fits. The doctor even told me to go out and buy some iron pills. Maybe I was becoming anemic. That's how sick all this is. Mental illness stuff. And these people laugh at me for being their victim. That's how sick all this is. They laugh at me. They admitted March 2nd to the 3rd, 21. They put 2 clips together, put her in a porn. It's not her, it's them. then it's like what you're describing, a shower. I go outside to smoke. They figure out what they did. Ha! They found the tape of it, May 12th, 22 at Bubba's restaurant. Noon, my car's bugged from that case. See, that agent opened a real case with statements, had an officer talk to Dave. Yeah. And then he retired. And the other guy that was working it retired at 19 and just left it open. That's why it never got cleaned up. That's where yesterday, up in Akron, one of those officers were going around telling people, are people saying stuff? Well, they said she's weird with herself. I'm not weird with myself. It's a shower scene of washing. He said they photoshopped everything. He said, we already found out. Do you think that agent actually looked at those tapes before? He said, well, he better not have. He knew better. Uh-huh. And he said, and we already looked into everything, and everything was photoshopped and made up on her. Da-da-da-da-da, or something like that. Everything was photoshopped on her. We already know all that. Uh-huh. And he said, and it's wrong to defraud someone, and it's really wrong to defraud a victim. I'm telling you, there's cells of these people, instead of going out and get a job, they will break in your home, they will stalk you. They will Photoshop scenes. And these people are worse than the guy that was 12 years in federal prison. They'll actually break in, drug you, beat you, rape you, and you'll wake up with bruises, and it's like, where did I get them? I don't feel good, and run to the bathroom throwing up. And then it keep happening, and you think that, do I have cancer? Am I going to die? Da-da-da-da-da. I didn't know what was wrong with me. And then it's like, is the well water making me sick just even bathing in it? I wasn't sick till I got up there. And it was happening in my home. Do you realize how mentally ill these people are? But they're strippers. They're prostitutes. They're drug dealers. They're human traffickers. They don't have common sense. None at all. And these people thinking it's funny that some prostitute, some stripper, and her drug addict father stalked me, photoshopped me, and date rape, drugged me, and broken and beat and raped me. How is that funny? How is that funny? Because they wanted my house and jewelry? That's real funny, isn't it? Huh? Try being their victim. Nothing's admissible. The Fourth Amendment, you have the right to be safe and secure in your own home. You have the right, or in your own person, in your own home, your places, your papers, effects against any unreasonable search or seizure shall not be violated. The word is shall not be violated. Department of Justice looks at a man's home as his castle, and it shall not be entered into. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements. Like Officer Reinhardt in Louisville said, even the FBI would go to jail outside to protect a life case with statements, and we could never look or listen. It'd be illegal to. That's where my friend that worked at the prosecutor's office. It's a fraud scheme. Where they kicked in the door, they probably did set up button cameras. They could never use it. They did it in a house. He said, he said they probably did Photoshop that shower scene. He said, and where you had bruises you couldn't explain, you're throwing up and dizzy and almost passing out. They probably did drug you until you say something stupid. He said, but they could never use it against you because they did it in your home. Big mistake. Went to the Portage County Sheriff's. They said they couldn't look or listen to it either. And what they did is illegal. And I said, it's the Fourth Amendment. Yes. See, that, like that officer said, that agent would have known better. That he could never look or listen to it. And then, and even that guy said, well, then he wouldn't even have looked into it because we found out everything was photoshopped on her. Where they told all those people, and those people went to the police and investigators. And all the police already knew I was drugged and photoshopped. That's where those two young officers, the undercover officers, March 23rd, 23, Walmart 62 again, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they come in and yell out, we told these people to stay out of this. We already interviewed her whole family a long time ago. She's never heard anybody and nobody ever seen anything. They did it undercover so they wouldn't be brought in a murder investigation. Went in as parties as friends or co-workers for a day. Mm-hmm. And had a long, different conversation about families. And they spoke highly of me. Now, I don't think some little drugged up prostitute stripper and her drug addict family in a human trafficking scam is funny. I'll tell you what, my phone's tapped from the case. It should be January or February 19. On a Sunday afternoon, I go with my oldest son, John, to Grinders in Minerva. There is, in the back, is uh, retired Judge Pete's son and his group. There's an older guy with gray hair and a blonde lady sitting next to us. And the guy that they said Strange hired him in Walmart, the white hair guy. Then the serial killer walks in, sits down behind us. It's funny they set us, the waitress set us close to her. John's running back and forth to the restroom because he's coughing up snot. His ears are plugged. He's got a sinus infection. Said Dave said he tore up her shoulder. We got it filled, picked out south of Ravenna to cut up her face and stab her to death. That's where she'll die. And the older guy that's part of the human trafficker was talking about grabbing people, making them prostitute themselves for life. John got out of the restroom. I'm like, we need to go. It's like, don't make a wrong move. That's how I felt inside. We're in a restaurant full of killers. Got my kid out of there. Tell you, if they pulled Dave's phone, he was in contact with them more than once. I told you, if they pull the case, it should be November, or should be December of 18, January 19. 6 to 9 o'clock at night, I come home, and where they kept saying they were going to relocate me to Florida, okay, that some kind of white sand beaches, okay, they said they had a doctor watching me. Why would you have a doctor? Okay, and they were even talking about it, Maslin Wendy's, okay, out in the mall. They actually said the place. I go home and I say it aloud in my bedroom, and I look it up. They pull the case. Some of the girls may be there. I mean, that's how bad this is. They're the drug traders, human trafficking people. This is driving me nuts. These people are so messed up. The marshals found 35 children they had took. The guy I went out to eat with January 20th, 23, he said his friend on the police station, they were working that case that agent opened with me. And that they knew about the Texas group. And I went like, the Kingsmen? He's like, is that what they call themselves? There was a retired judge in Texas in this big human trafficking scam. And they're going to use that case that agent opened with you. He said, and to get these people, and they're getting ready to take care of it. They found 35 people tied up in a railroad car. And they found them. And da-da-da-da-da-da-da. 3 weeks later, the sheriffs and the marshals did an 800 people sweep. That's how not funny this is. I got raped and tortured July to September 19 in protected custody. There's a bunch of them in Faith Family Church that are telling everybody they're FBI and work the case. The retired Judge Pete sold the login to the protected case by Thanksgiving 18. He's running around telling everybody he's Karen's will, and nobody is allowed to help me. Anybody can help me. Those men retired. And they just left the case open. That's why it never got cleaned up. And he's not an agent, and he has no authority. He's a human trafficker. People need to stop falling for the drug cartels, lies, and stunts. They've been scammed and they've been punked by strippers, prostitutes, and drug dealers. That agent opened a real case, though, and someone needs to help me. Anybody can. I tried to tell that agent I was told on the night before he called me a liar. Hmm? Tell you what, an officer verified it was him that told on me the night before. Makes you think, because why didn't he just ask for the church's number? Exactly. And why didn't he pull Huntington Banks and Giant Eagles? That guy tried to kidnap me in front of Terry. Uh-huh. And he's a Detroit Boys' kidnapper. And he killed my one co-worker's family member and then my other co-worker's family member and a bunch of other people. He's still loose in the Canton area. So this all falls at their feet. His arrogance and ignorance has cost lives. And like that officer said, we have all been told that there was no excuse for any of this, and defrauding anybody is wrong, and especially victims. Everybody that has the login where they sold it, you're not in trouble for having it. Turn them in. You know, they run around telling everybody, don't say anything, what's going on. Tell on them. Tell on them. My God, they're selling people. They told people in Louisville in January, don't make fun of her. The people they hired to hurt her are grabbing people and selling them. If that's what's going on, none of this is funny. He said it's exactly what's going on. Those people that are hurting her, and were here hurting her, are grabbing people and selling them. That's the ones they used to hurt her. They pulled that case. They'll have Dave working with the Detroit Boys and the Kingsmen. Today in Walmart, I went down. I was in the hair salon again. And some guys walked by. We found out that idiot hired a stalker. That's why we're supposed to keep an eye on her. Yeah. He needs to go to jail for that. You can't enter stalking videos. I'll be like Dave's fat blonde girlfriend that was following me around. Her and her mean parents were also gold digging. Uh-huh. Yelled at the goons from Ravenna after May 25th, 21, that Saturday or Sunday afterwards. Showed up between 3 and 6 p.m. Yelled at them on Fairlawn Street. Are you crazy? You can't enter a drug confession? Well, we just found out they dragged her until they went to say before. Well, I'll put it this way. Are you crazy? You can't enter illegal tapes, stalking tapes. They're not admissible. It's a Fourth Amendment over the House. You made a big mistake again. No, I'm going to go ahead and upload this. None of this is funny. I was almost murdered. I was almost shot in the head driving. I had 6 stalkers in Walmart. I'll tell you what, if they pull Walmart tapes, if they still have like January 19, one of the main human traffickers are in there. He's got a cowboy hat, horseshoe earring, older white guy. He will be at a register, and then he'll be wearing a baseball hat by the ladies' lingerie. Okay? He was around me a lot.